We have explored using a single force sensor, distance sensor, and color sensor in our programming. We can use the color sensor to write a program that has your spike prime follow a line. It's quite a simple program and one that is commonly used in educational robotics. The secret to line tracking is that the robot isn't actually following a line at all. It's just looking for different colors. If your color sensor sees a black line, it turns slightly to the left. If it sees white, it turns back to the right. Eventually, it will get back to the line and start seeing black again. Repeat this behavior enough times, and the robot will bounce back and forth between the black and white areas, but in doing so, will slowly bobble its way down the line. Let's program it using a combination of a forever loop and an if-else statement. The forever loop is like the name implies. Everything inside this loop repeats until the stop button is pressed or some other sensor stops it. I'll create a new project. I drag a forever loop from the control palette onto the programming stack. Inside the forever loop, I add an if-else statement. The condition is if the color sees black, the robot should move to the left. So let's add the sensor condition in. I'm going to add a start moving block under the if and set it to left -20. Otherwise, the robot should move to the right, so I add another start moving block under the else and set it to right 20. Let's download and run this part of the program and see what happens. As you see, the robot jogs down the line, moving left and right based on the color. Can we add to this program and add a second sensor into the mix? Take a look at this course. We will make our robot follow the black line around until it gets to the blue area. We already know how to follow the line, and we can probably figure out how to make the robot stop on the light blue area. What can we do about those 3 obstacles in the way? Let's use our distance sensor to stop our robot and play an alarm when we get close to each cube. Then, someone can remove the cubes each time, and we can continue with our program. This time, we will just keep the same program that we used before and add to it. In addition to the line follow, we need to check for the obstructions and check for the light blue. We will do this using nested if-else statements. I first drag the if-else statement from the line follower out of the forever loop. I keep it to the side so I can use it later. I grab another if-else statement and drag it to the top of our forever loop. For the if part, let's check for distance toward an obstacle. So I drag over the closer than block and make it 15 centimeters. If we get closer than 15 centimeters, our robot should stop and make a beep sound. So I drag over those 2 blocks and put them under the if part. If the robot is not close to an obstruction, it should continue the program. But what should go next? Let's check whether we see light blue or not. So under the else, let's add another if-else block. This is called a nested if-else. Here, let's check for the color blue. If we see it, the robot should stop. If not, it should continue with the line follow. I drag in the is color block and set it to light blue. If the sensor sees blue, it should stop. So let me add that in. If it doesn't see light blue, we want the line follow to continue. Let's drag our original if-else with the line follow into the else statement. That should work. I see one pitfall with this. The starting area is magenta, so our line follow program may have trouble getting started. Let's add a move for centimeters block to the very start of the program, before the forever loop, and set it to 5 centimeters. This will move us out of the magenta area. Hopefully, this will all work. I press the download and run button, and let's see what happens. The robot moves forward, turning left and right till it gets close to the block. The block is moved away. The robot continues the line follow and gets to the second block, which is also moved away. The robot will continue along until it gets to the third block. The third block moves away as well. Now the robot will get to the light blue and stop.